Hey everyone, it's Kristin, and today we are going to continue to work on our Alice in Wonderland junk journal. If you haven't seen the first session, I will link it up here above, and you can check that out if you'd like. But what we're essentially doing is creating an Alice in Wonderland themed junk journal. Now, last time when we were together, we created a lot of handmade papers and trims and tags to add to the journal to come. Now, I know a lot of junk journals are different. Some are literally created with junk mail and envelopes and things lying around that they want to include in a journal that they can then paint or write or create on top of. Some junk journals are more like a scrapbook where people will use personal photos, ticket stubs, that sort of thing, so that they can be reminded of the days that they are living. Now, because we have decided to do an Alice in Wonderland themed junk journal, I thought it would be pretty cool if we did one as if we were Alice. So what I want to do is obviously add some homemade papers and pieces so that it's bright and colorful and cheery the way we like to do it around here. But I want to pretend that I'm Alice and I'm creating a scrapbook of sorts while I do this junk journal. So Alice in Wonderland was written in 1865. Although I do not have a ton of vintage materials from that exact time, we can kind of take some creative license and make it up as we go along. So this is what I have today. Today we are going to continue to build interest. We're going to create some pages. We may add layers. I don't know, we're going to play. We'll see what happens. But here's what I have. How cool is this? Now I think Alice might have some wax seals, so we may play with that. And then I've got some photographs and some vintage materials that she may collect, that she may have in her life. She may be collecting poems and have a favorite that she reads under a tree. See how I'm making it up? And she may have some things like this that she'd like to include. We have ledger pages, we have figures that I thought might represent a time in which she would be living, and music sheets. And then we have all sorts of fun things that we might want to include as well. Some mulberry papers, we have some clip art of Alice herself, some more photographs, trims, things that she may be using at the time, and that sort of thing that I have just gathered from my stash. So this is kind of where my mind is and where we may head today. So if you want to see what happens, just keep watching. As always, thanks for coming along. Pop in here to say that as I'm trying to determine exactly the size and shape of the pages that will go into the junk journal, I realize I have a pretty good cheat sheet in front of me. Since we took the front and back covers off and removed the spine, we have a perfect little measurement within the guts of the book itself. If we place one on top of the other, this is approximately 1/2 of an inch. That will be a perfect size to place our jump ring to come, unless we change our mind, which we always can. But for now, what I'll be doing is simply using the cover to measure the pages that will go inside. They will be single pages as opposed to a layout that's stitched in the center. So this is perfect for us. going to interrupt the art concert one more time just to show you where we are at this point. We have already created now and cut out several pages that are the size and shape of the cover itself, which in this particular book happens to be about 6 by 8. So I've got a lot of pages already cut out in this shape. I'll also include some of the guts and cut that to size as well. But if you thought my math was crazy, sometimes it is, I have a plan and a purpose this time. I only cut out the size and shape of the book and not the additional 1/2 inch that we will need to bind it with our jump rings. For that, I'm going to pull out my favorite, really heavy, wonderful, heavyweight, bendable, flexible watercolor paper. This is 140 pounds, and I'm going to cut several pages or sheets from this that includes that 1/2 inch. I will then glue the pages that represent the size of the cover onto this so that we really have a sturdy structure to bind with our jump rings in the end.
I went out and tried to cut a pine tree down. the ground like Alice. Oh, what a sound. This must be a nest. I got rocks and sticks against my chest. I'm Alice. Dear Queen of Hearts, I'ma grow you white roses so you can learn to be kind. Tell King of Hearts to arm all his forces so you can learn to be kind. What a start. Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess like Alice.